Hi.
Hi
Hello, both of
everyone.
you.
Hi.
Hi. Hi,
Hi, everyone.
everyone. Hi, Madiha.
Hey, hello. Hi, Mudna. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Elisa.
Hi Madia.
Hi.
Okay, so we are waiting for few people more to join here, and we are also going live on YouTube.
Brilliant, brilliant. I'm I'm enjoying the international audience that is with us today. Um, what an
Hello, how
amazing
are you?
what an amazing group you managed to create here.
And everyone else, please, if you can, since this is a live webinar, if you everyone else can mute their mics from the audience, that would be great. Hmm? Hmm. Okay, so I think a lot of people are already here, and we can start it. We are joined by 72 people already, and I'm sure many people are watching us on YouTube. So let's start. Hi, everyone. I am Madhi Yasin from Learning Minds. I'm the communication lead here. And today we are here for the webinar of on coaching. And I'm just going to share the slides with you all. Okay, let me know in the chats when you can see the slides. Okay, everyone. I hope you can see the slide now.
Yes, Madiha, thank you.
All right, guys, we are here to discuss coaching that works, coaching skills across your organization, and we have a great panel of experts with us. So I'll start with Suzanne. So Suzanne here is joining us from Italy and taking time out especially for us. And then Ali is joining us from Islamabad, and Muzna is here from Karachi with me. So we are here diverse coaches here, and I'll start introducing them. So Suzanne is ICF certified PPC level NLP coach, and Ali sir is also ICF certified coach, and Muzna here is our NLP expert. And if you guys have met Suzanne, you will know why she is a coach. She is, I've talked to her a few times, and she's such an empathetic and amazing person. She'll put you in on ease and make you feel comfortable and important. And I exactly know, Suzanne, why you are a coach. And we are here with Ali sir as well. And Ali here has a lot of experience in Pakistan's corporate sector. And now he's a coach. He believes in developing leaders like himself, a task many few people uh, are sincere with. So, and here is Muzna. Muzna is the advocate for everyone's everyone's brand identity, always encouraging everyone to speak for themselves, to communicate themselves, and improve themselves. So, I will give the stage to Suzanne to introduce herself better and talk about her experiences.
Thank you so much, Madiha. Thank you. It's a great honor to be here with all of you and to be able to bring my experience and my expertise to share with all of you, and also hopefully to answer any questions you might have about coaching, about skills, blocks, limitations, about what it is and what it is not. Um, why I became a coach. I'm delighted to hear that for Madia it is clear. It wasn't clear for me. I didn't know that I needed to be a coach. What I knew was that I wasn't living my full potential, that there was more to me, that sometimes my reactions, my emotions, my performance, personally and professionally, felt like just a percentage of what I could have delivered otherwise. So I reached out and started exploring the field of coaching because I felt there must be more to who I am. And now I am the facilitator of that more for others. So for me, coaching is like making sure that you drive on a full tank. So it's making sure that there is nothing that is jeopardizing your growth. And very frequently, what was jeopardizing mine was lack of self awareness, lack of self regulation, lack of knowledge, lack of guidance. And so I decided to start a life mission to make sure that no other human being feels abandoned, lost, and alone the way I did. And this is what I do, and this is why I do what I do.
It was great to hear that you've mentioned that you realized you were not working on your full potential and you were lacking guidance. And it's beautiful that now you're providing exactly those things to other people, helping them to reach their full potential and guiding them. So, thank you so much for being here and taking the time out. And I'll move towards Ali for his introduction now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am equally excited, as Suzanne said, to be part of today's session. I am an engineer by background, and then I turned into HR. And my core area remained talent development, talent management, and culture. So, leadership development has been something which I used to practice a lot. But being an engineer, I always wanted to have a framework whereby I can contribute towards developing other people. And as Suzanne was also talking about the potential, I realized that a lot of people, they are not even aware of the potential they have. So to give them an awareness of actually the level at which they can perform, it was very important that we should share with them some structured approach in achieving that potential. And that led me into looking of different options, and coaching came out to be one of the options, which has a very structured way of taking an individual uh, step by step in different stages from a situation where they are struggling either in their personal domains or their professional domains, and there is a position where they want to go as far as their growth is concerned. And in a very structured manner, in a framework, you can keep eliminating those roadblocks where you support people and make them aware of the limits they can go up to. So this was the background why I opted for coaching, and since the day I started actually getting a training into it, started practicing it, I got hooked to it, and it has been a lovely journey so far.
Great. I've already heard great things about you since you are here in Pakistan, from Muzna, from Suhail. And I'm glad that you are here with us today. And moving, I'll put the spotlight on Muzna here now.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Alrighty, okay, so first thing first, I just want to tell you guys how excited I am to be a part of such a decorated panel. You both have a lot of amazing experience, and I am always in awe of all the things that you do and how humble you are. I mean, how can you be so humble? I got to learn that. Well, everyone, um, I am known to be a connector. People think that I'm easy to talk to. I bring the best out of people. That is what I am good at, and I'm working towards, um, probably working towards becoming a coach. My contribution in today's webinar would be from maybe a client's perspective. Since I'm a consultant too, so I deal with a lot of different um, organizations where people come up with their needs, and they have different kinds of needs. There are, of course, learning challenges in the organization and some very solid practical challenges that they want to cater through training, coaching, and I facilitate them in finding the right solution. So in doing so, I've gained a lot of experience there, and that's where I'm going to, add value to. I'm really excited about this. So yeah, thank you.
Great. Okay, thank you so much, Muzna. So Muzna and I work together, so we already know a lot about each other, and I know Muzna will be a great coach one day. She's a natural. Okay, guys, moving towards our agenda and what we'll be discussing today is the coaching thing is how coaching drives value creation, because in the end, in everything, what we seek is value. How something is giving value to us, and why are we here talking about this topic today? And one thing that comes with it is understanding coaching, because as Muzna said, she's here from the sides of a client. She gets a lot of queries and she knows how much confusion there is still about coaching. And then we'll move towards essential skills for a coach like manager. And then you'll all have the pleasure to ask these panel of experts anything you want in a Q&A session. So moving onwards, these are the few insights I put together. These are all international research centers. Why I wanted to highlight these, this is all research based. Like Gallup says that highly engaged teams show 21% greater profitability. So why are we here? Why is everyone so like the coaching is the buzzword right now? Many people think that it's the present, and many people believe that it's here to stay and it is the future as well. So we are discussing here, why do they think so? Why HBR? Why Gallup? Why is ICF think that coaching is the answer to our corporate problems? So organizations with strong coaching culture are 33% more likely to report better financial performance, but financial performance is not the only thing that we seek. The hot issue right now is how to retain people, how to keep them engaged, and coaching has proved to be 30% higher retention rate if an organization has a coaching culture. Again, something, and it enhance the overall productivity as well. So these are all the numbers, these are all the, the all the buzzwords the research institutes, bigger international research institutes talking about. But I would like to hear first start with Ali sir, that how coaching drives value creation, especially since you have experience, you're on the ground in Pakistan's corporate sector. So how does it work? Why are we so right now obsessed with coaching, and how it drives value for individuals, for teams, and for organizations?
Right. So adding value in an organization is mostly about the context of the organization, understanding the context where we are operating, and realizing the expectations of your stakeholders. Because in that context, business context, political context, economic context, technological context, or business context, या जो आपकी market है, the market context, उसके अंदर you have to provide that value to all your stakeholders. Now, for providing that value, you need three things. One, a good talent pool, which is your employees, a good leadership, and an enabling culture. So a mix of these three will actually enable you and add or respond to the values or expectations of that stakeholder. When you talk about talent and building that talent, it's mainly about two things. One is their skill and one is their mindset or the will. Usually organizations by training, they focus, or by job rotation, they focus a lot on skill development. But the area where they miss is the will or the mindset of the individual. And that's where the coaching part comes in. Because a lot of people, they are not very clear about that if they have to move from stage A to stage B, what is expected out of them. We develop them for their skills of today's job, today's requirements, but we do not develop them for potential, which can take them to a futuristic role. So it's very important that you keep coaching people and telling them that how they can move up and how they can address those expectations of the stakeholder, which is eventually going to add value not only for their team, but also for the organization. I think you are mute, Madhya.
So yeah, rightly said. And I think you speak from a lot of experience. And I would like to move this conversation towards Suzanne, because she has a lot of international exposure, and I would love to hear some stories, maybe some insights from your side, or a story that how coaching, because it certainly helped transform your life, but how you help someone or an organization or a team, or any team, how you added value in their life.
How much time do we have? Right. Stories are the best. So once upon a time, there was a company that decided to merge. Okay. And this is how a lot of corporate coaching stories start. Because when two companies or more than two companies get um, get together, it's generally a financial decision. And so what happens is that cultures, expectations, speed of work needs to be aligned and needs to be brought together. So as a figure, as a person, but also as a service, a coach is generally a value added when what we want is for the humans who work to change either what they think, what they feel, how they think, how they feel, or what they believe in. So, specifically, in mergers and acquisitions or in big corporate transformations, I can't personally imagine a bigger transformation than a merger or acquisition, but still, there might be. This is the moment when the human limitation can really jeopardize a venture that's worth millions and millions of dollars. So, yeah, you can buy a company. Of course, you can merge them. But what happens to the performance of the people who form that company? What happens if you want to switch the culture? What if you want to change the business model? Whatever is on paper needs to be transformed into something that's actionable for humans. So very recently, here in Europe, there was a gigantic acquisition of a consulting company, and we were asked to help them, because when you are swallowed by a giant, it may feel like you no longer matter. But the acquisition happens because you are valuable. Your company is valuable. So we were asked to write a project. We will speak about emotional intelligence very soon, but we were asked to help people build more value through resilience, through a deeper understanding of how to interact with each other. And that brought us to a discussion on a level of beliefs and values. So I understand that it might sound a little verbose, but what I'm trying to say is corporate decisions and business really and truly only translate to financial gains if the humans who form the business do what you want them to do. And there is very little that a contract can do when we go beyond the absolute minimum. And very frequently, what we want is for people to reach their full potential. Full potential, that's huge. Guys, really, let's just try for a second to go beyond the words. What does it mean? So if a human who you pay, instead of doing what they do their best, truly, every day, is this bringing value or not? That's it. That's what coaching does.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for your contribution. I love the part where you said, and you rightly said, and that was the whole point, that it all comes down to humans. Because even when we talk about teams, even when we talk about organizations, they are all made up eventually humans. So that's the part you focus on. I love that. And I'll move towards Muzna if you want to conclude anything on this topic.
Well, all I'd say is that, of course, coaching drives a lot of value in the organization. We are very different people, all of us. Everyone is unique. Diversity is not just having men and women, equal number of men and women in the room. It's also different types of people. And when people are so different, they have different stories and they have very different experiences. So not all people problem can be solved with one solution fits all, right? So then you have to go for coaching, and that's where it adds value because then people feel seen and they feel heard, and then you can completely transform someone's performance through coaching. And I think it is the fastest way, and it's measurable that way. So it adds lots of value. All the organizations should have their, and let's talk about this also, that you have to have your managers who should be able to wear the coaching hat. And that's where the magic would start to happen. Yeah, because you can't have each individual coached separately. Thank you.
Great. Correct. Muzna, they are all are great. So I'm sharing their LinkedIn profile in the chat. So do follow them all. Here is Suzanne's profile again, and here is Muzna's. And so we'll move towards the next slide, which is a poll. So I hope you are learning something here, and I would love to take a poll here to have your views. So audience, please take part in this poll, and I'll sure in few seconds we'll share the results of the poll. I hope you can see the poll. Please confirm in the chat.
As we are waiting for the results of the poll, I just wanted to acknowledge what great questions are coming through the chat. I'm doing my best to provide my opinion, but I also am sure that Ali and Muzna have their own. So I just wanted to once more compliment you, Madiha, and you, Muzna, for bringing together such an amazing group of people. Just by assessing the questions, I can see that you created an incredible community right here. Well done, ladies, really.
Thank you. Thank you for being so generous. And I hope everyone is contributing. Yeah, there's a lot of answers. Okay, so I'm sharing the results here, whatever is by now. And let me know when you see the results. So here are the results, guys. I hope you are able to see it, and employee engagement comes first here. I think everyone is right now nowadays looking for it. Obviously, it's a very important issue, and sure, coaching can add a lot of value with this, as discussed by Ali and Suzanne and Mubna. So again, team performance, all connected with employee engagement here. Great. So I am moving on to the next topic because we are a little short of time here. So, okay. So again, this is something that I'll just start with Muzna, that because she is the person who gets a lot of confusions, a lot of questions about the myths of coaching. This is also one of our agenda of today, understanding coaching. What is the myths and what is the reality? So Muzna, I would just like you to add on to these myths and ask our expert here, Suzanne and Ali, about if these myths are real, or is it just the myth, and what is the reality here?
All right, so I'll quickly share that I get a lot of requests where there are organizations that say that they want to train their managers on becoming great coaches or mentors or coaching or mentors or whatever, right? So they're like not bothered if you call it coaching or you call it mentoring. And sometimes I have to kind of, like stop and think to myself, do I tell them that these are not interchangeable? Either we can train them on how to become great coaches, or we can train them on how to mentor, but you can't interchange the two because they're two different aspects. And on this one, I'd also like to hear from you guys. I mean, how is coaching different from mentoring? And also keeping in mind that the meat of this webinar is still to come, right? So we'll just quickly go through these myths with the two of you. Ali, what do you say about this? Are organizations still not clear about the difference between coaching and mentoring, or do they want their managers to be mentors or coaches, or either, or do they feel like either is fine? What do you say?
I think the organizations are still struggling between the blurred boundaries between coaching, mentoring, and therapy. Whereas there are few fundamental differences between all these three. For example, therapy or counseling is more past oriented. So a therapist or a counselor will try to remain in the past of the client and try to resolve those issues or traumas, as our colleague Suzanne will be able to comment more on the trauma part. But the therapists, they remain in past, whereas the coaches, they are future focused. That's the first major difference. The counselors, they are not future oriented. They try to resolve things for future, but their main focus remains past. One. Second, the therapists are not solution oriented. So they do not have a specific goal in mind, whereas a coach always has a specific goal in mind which needs to be achieved. So that is a basic difference. As far as mentoring and coaching is concerned, in mentoring, the mentor brings his personal experience into the discussion, and based on that experience and expertise, he develops the mentee. Whereas in coaching, the coach does not bring the personal experience majorly. Yes, you can draw some analogy, some help from your experience to make the coachee understand, but it's primarily about the intent of the coachee, the resolve of the coachee, and the ability of the person being coached, how good or bad they can achieve that target. So these are fine, but very major differences between the two. So the myth that coaching is similar to mentoring and therapy is not correct.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the clarification. Very nicely explained. Now, Suzanne, how about you shedding some light on it's only for executives, it's only for the top tier.
That's a pain point, because when you say coaching is only for, what you're really saying is we buy coaching only for. So if coaching were free, would it be only for executives? No. So when we say coaching is only for executives, what we're saying is we invest in executives. Coaching should be for those who want to grow. The question is, we want to make sure that our executives grow, so we invest in them. But if we wanted our organizations to grow, we would give coaching to everybody who signals that there is a need for them to grow. I wanted to add to what Ali was saying, because of course it is a connection between present, past, and future. But there is also a question about what is the main tool that a coaching professional versus a therapist or a consultant or a mentor will be using. And one thing that we coaches use more than anybody else is questions. So a therapist, a mentor tells you, a consultant tells you what to do, and a coach never does. We don't give advice, we ask questions. And so it is not only where you look, it is also what you use to bring from the person what you want to highlight. I can tell you what I see, but I can also ask you, And that's going to generate different neural paths. And this means that there is going to be change on a neuro-linguistic level, on a neural level in your brain. And that's a powerful thing. So yeah, on the executive need coaching, just to close that part, Mediha, I think people who have a brain want that brain to work to the best of their abilities. Unfortunately, in business, it is frequently the case that we give the most valuable tools to the most valuable employees. But maybe that's not where we should be going as professionals and as business.
Right. And with that, I think the last myth, coaching is only for underperformers, is also bound. Uh, why is it's because it's for everyone and anyone who wants to grow, like Suzanne and Ali both said. So I hope there's clarity there. And if any questions, please write them down and we are going to cater to them.
Yeah, so if anyone
Yes, Madhya.
anyone wants to have any question, ask any question. If they're still confused about what is coaching, our coaches are available on the chat as well. So let us know. And I hope you get a lot of clarity on what is real and what is the myth about coaching as well. And this, because we've discussed in detail about coaching, this leads to some sort of clarity. And here I would share an official definition. So, official definition of ICF of coaching, but I would like these esteemed coaches, because these are the one on the ground, these are the one with experience. So then I would like to start with you. Sure, this is the definition of ICF, but I'm sure you must have your own definition of what is a coaching, and I would love to hear that.
Thank you. One of my favorite definitions of coaching is it's dancing in the moment with your client. It means I'm always going to support you in whatever you are struggling with. And sometimes my favorite question as a coach is when my client explains whatever they are facing or fighting or struggling with, I ask them, what does support feel like? Or what does it look like at the moment? And whatever support is, that becomes the path of a coach. So sometimes dancing in the moment means that we're going to be working together towards a goal that has a very clear frame, and there are no roadblocks. The person just needs support and needs a fellow human being together with them. Sometimes coaching is holding space. You guys are asking questions about how to make sure that it's not routine, how to make sure that you leave the person's space while providing value. Think about it. All 100 of you, think about it. When was the last time that for 1 hour somebody held the space just for you? For your words, for your doubts, for your feelings? Somebody was there for you, not to show you what they know, but to really listen. This is coaching. Coaching is lending your human presence to somebody else's growth. Muzna, what is it for you?
Beautiful.
Coaching for me is it's like it's strong, powerful questions that are asked, curated in a way that you unlock your potential. So it's like you already know the answers, but you need someone to help you get there. That's what coaching is for me.
And moving to Ali sir.
I'm always, yeah,
Uh,
I'm
for
always short
for me,
with my.
I'll be brief. For me, coaching is all about trust. The coachee has to trust the way a kid trusts a parent. That kind of a trust that my coach is sincere to me and is uh, focused on my development, not having any personal agenda. So it's all about trust.
Great. So we are having an amazing questions from the audience in the chat box. And so we are short on time. I would love to ask one question. One question is from Kadir, which I think we'll answer in the next slide. That is coaching natural is it a talent that you develop? So Kadir, we are going to talk about some skills, and these coaches will answer that if you can develop it or is it inborn talent. But the next question is from Shehzad, who is asking, and Suzanne, I would like to start from you. Shehzad is asking how we can inculcate coaching culture in organization.
So it's a very good question, but unfortunately, the answer is not easy. Are you guys ready for an answer that isn't easy? Okay, all right. Because it's very easy to show coaching culture. It's very difficult to build it. To show it, you just need to say, hey, look, coaching culture. By the way, there was a brilliant question about the elements of it. So, for example, I can say, my leaders are committed. But are they? I can say, we are open in our communication and we give feedback, which is another element of coaching culture. But are we? And so on and so forth. So focus on development, not being afraid of making mistakes, empowerment and autonomy in decision making, encouraging self awareness, encouraging transparency, encouraging diversity. But am I sounding like a website? Because if I am, you are seeing the problem. The problem is it's easy to show, it's difficult to build because it starts from inside. It starts from a human being. It starts from limiting beliefs. It starts from blocks, limitations. It starts from me not feeling good enough. It starts from me comparing myself to others. And so if you want to build a coaching culture, you need to start coaching the humans that should be building that culture.
Thank you, Suzanne, for this beautiful explanation. And if Ali would like to add anything.
I agree with Suzanne. Culture of any sort, be it culture for coaching or be culture for excellence or anything, it starts from the top. So, because in any organization, the practical world is that if something is not adding value or people cannot see that it is benefiting the business per se, that is a short-lived phenomena, whatever it is. So unless and until the top leadership is not serious about having a culture of coaching which is adding value in its true sense, not for the sake of coaching, but where you actually see that people are developing and people are adding a lot of value to the organization. So the top tier has to be on board to start the culture.
Great. Okay, and I would like to thank all of our coaches here because I don't know how you're managing it, but while talking to us, you're also answering the question in the chats, and great to have that. Especially Suzanne, I don't know how you're managing that elaborate answers, but thank you for doing that. And we are moving towards another poll. And guys, be ready because I think poll is here for a very short time. And you were asking the poll was finished very soon. So be ready. I am sending another poll towards you.
As we're waiting for the poll, there was a beautiful question on how do you transform a manager into a coach, and I'm sure that Medea and Muzna and Ali will answer that very shortly. I will try to write a little bit on that in the chat as we wait.
Guys, the poll is here. Hope you can see it. Okay, so that's an interesting question, and let's see which coaching myth have you encountered most in your organization? And there's only one answer. You can only choose one choice. So let's end the poll here and see which is the most common myth here about coaching right now. And I'm sharing results. And here it is. It's a tie between coaching is similar to mentoring and coaching is only for underperformance. Great. So it is a very common myth, and I hope our coaches were able to resolve your confusion about these myths. So I'm stopping the sharing option here and moving towards, we are short on time, hardly 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll quickly move towards the final part, which is also the most awaited part because people are asking about the skills that you need to be a coach. So what are the essential skills for a coach like manager or for anyone who wants to be a coach? And here, so the first skill is listening. I would here start with empathy and EI because I think it encompasses all those skills. And I would love to invite Suzanne because I know she's big on, we are all, but I'm sure she has a lot of knowledge here. And I would love for you to talk about empathy and emotional intelligence. And as someone asked, is it an inborn talent or do you develop this skill?
I think the supporting question you asked is the key. A lot of my clients and a lot of organizations that I coach still believe that you either are a person who has empathy or you are not. So they believe that empathy is a personality trait. And so this is like being tall or not being tall, right? Whereas empathy is one of the 5 elements that belong to the what we can call EQ or EI, emotional intelligence, and together with self awareness, self regulation, motivation, and social skills, empathy is a skill set. So, how do we make sure that our employees or our managers develop a higher level of emotional intelligence? Well, we start where you, Medea, started. We show them that they are skill sets and not personality traits. And then we understand that differently to IQ, which remains more or less stable throughout the life of a human being, EQ or EI can be largely incremented if we work, and there is, monumental work by Daniel Goleman. There are other great gurus of emotional intelligence whose work is of fundamental help for anybody who wants to develop more emotional intelligence. Empathy is the ability to understand what others feel, believe, and think, and either generate in you the capacity to feel, understand, and believe what they do, or at least conceive it. And for that, neuroscience helps a lot because then you understand how your brain works. And you understand that building empathy is an inner skill. It's not connected to others, it's connected to you. And then, last but not least, you cannot build empathy for others if you don't feel empathy for yourself. If you cannot be compassionate towards your own imperfections, if you cannot accept your emotions, if you cannot accept your own shortcomings, you will not have this for others. It will feel unfair to offer this to others. That's what I think.
Great answer, Suzanne. I hope whoever asked that about the talent part, you got it, you can build it. And obviously, your coach is the person who will help you in building it. And moving towards the next scale is active listening. And I would ask Muzna to take the stage here. She's a great listener. So I'm sure she has something to say.
So, if you're empathetic, then you shouldn't have trouble listening to people. And listening, although is a skill that everyone talks about when it comes to communication, everyone says, so how to be an active listener and how to not be distracted. So Ken Blanchard talks about listening intently for managers. And what it means is that, um, not jumping to conclusions. No matter how many times you feel like you've been in the situation 100 times and you've been in the team members' shoes and you know it all, been there, done that, you still, continue listening to them because their perspective is unique. Like I initially mentioned, that each individual is unique, their experiences are unique. So you gotta listen to them fully. And if you can hold space, there is just extreme dearth of people holding space for other people because they feel like it's more of the same over and over, but it's not. So you hold space and you let them finish. And then you pause, yeah? And when that happens, active listening happens automatically. And ask questions, instead of giving that advice. Michael Stanier says, tame your advice monster. I have the link in the resources. Do watch it. It's like a masterclass on how to listen effectively. Thank you.
And I hope
You're on.
everyone listened to that, what Muzna said. And we will move towards curiosity and goal setting. And I'll ask Ali to take the stage here because you put that word here that, a coach is always asking the right question and is curious. So let's talk about, we are a little short on time. So let's wrap this up with curiosity and goal setting here.
I'd
Right.
just like to say that we can take another 5 minutes. It's okay. Don't feel rushed, Ali.
Right, right. Thank you, Mirza. Thanks for that. When it comes to curiosity, uh, coaches should be like babies. If you observe babies, they ask a lot of questions till they are not clear about a situation. Why this happen? Why this it is done in a certain way? A coach has to develop that curious mindset to unpeel all the mental blockers or the physical blockers the coachee is feeling, which is stopping them from achieving their intended target or whatever outcome they want to achieve. So, a person who is not curious will find it very difficult, or not creative, will find it very difficult to ask those questions which actually will give them or will do the root cause analysis. So, that skill set is extremely important. When asking questions, you should be very curious about what's going on. Uh, and moving from there, when I started off that being an engineer, I always wanted to have a structure. There are many structures in coaching which you can use, but one of the frameworks which actually very early caught my eye was the GROW model. And it has been a lot of organizations I've used. Uh, Other coaching models also follow the same kind of flow with a different name, be it clear model or oscar model or any other model. But very quickly, you have to define a goal and agree with the client. The client defines the goal, what they want to do. And based on that goal, you need to have a reality check. Where do you stand as it is? So this is a 2B situation where you want to go, where you are as is today. What are the options and what are the issues which are not letting you reach that 2B stage, and how willing you are to achieve that? But everything starts from clarity of goal and ends at your willingness to achieve that goal. So, if we define three stages of coaching, the first stage is intent. So, client is responsible for the intent. The client has to come to you. There were questions in the chat box where people were saying how we can ask people to be coaches. Now, the coachee has to be clear that he or she needs coaching. You cannot enforce coaching on someone, be it underperformer or overperformer. Everyone needs coaching, but they have to be clear. So intent comes from the coachee, the process comes from the coach. So coach is responsible for this process of steering, and finally the willingness comes from again the coachee. The coach is not responsible for the outcome. Now this is another myth which we did not talk about, but whether the outcome is achieved or not, coach is not responsible, the coachee is responsible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. And guys, I hope we are all here because we feel stuck, because we have some goals that we feel stuck with, and we need help from the coaches. I'm glad that we have all these coaches on our panel, and we are soon going to reveal a list of our coaches, our experts with us. And here in the chat, I've shared the feedback form. I would love to, we all would love to hear from you what you learned from us, and if there can be an improvement. So I'm again sharing the link for feedback form in case it was lost. So do give us your feedback. And here I'm sharing the link of Learning Minds LinkedIn page as well for future webinars that we are going to announce. And next time, follow us because we are going to take a poll and ask you what topic you want to hear about. So thank you all. Thank you, everyone. And there's another poll because feedback is necessary and I would love to have, because we talked in detail about the skills. So let's talk about the skills. Which skill do you think is most critical for a coach like manager to develop? What is your take on this? Which is your skill that you feel others may be lacking in or yourself lacking? Do let us know. Okay, so while everyone is doing the poll, we are also moving towards Q&A session. So everyone, the coaches are available in the chat. Please shoot your questions here in the chat box. Okay, there are a lot of questions about aspiring coaches, about how many hours a coach need, etc. So I think we'll develop something with the help of, I'm thinking with the help of these experts, we'll develop something else to answer the people who want to be a coach, maybe a document or something. We'll surely share on our social media that how to be a coach, what are the hours that are required, and what are the skills that are required. I'm going to take the help from these experts, and sure, I think there's a lot of questions and queries about how to be a coach. So this is a separate topic and we will talk about it in detail. So we are keeping noting down this. Okay, so the poll is there and I'm sharing the results. And I think, yeah, as expected, everyone wants to be heard. And emotional intelligence and active listening is a tie. And then goal setting that we all struggle with, surely is considered the most critical skill. You all are correct. So I would like coaches to be there in the chat box as well. Um, so the poll is getting shared and coaches are there in the chat box as well. So everyone, guys, please remember to fill the feedback form as well. It would be a great help and it would help us in our next session.
Thanks, Madhya. And I'd also like to mention here that there is going to be a resource document that you will get, and it's a mine of gold, honestly, because all the resources there are resources that are focused on how you can become a great coach as a human being, just generally, how you can have that build that coaching capacity. I mean, taking this up as a profession is another route that you can take, of course. However, I feel like each one of us can build, and Ali rightly mentioned that it is a skill that you can build. The resources are there, go through them. Like I mentioned, and like all of us said, that the results are not in our hand. We can only share our experience and our knowledge with you all, but you got to take the walk on the journey that you want to go on and reach the destination yourself.
Correctly said, and I've shared that a resource document that Musa talked about. All three coaches were so generous that in case you wanted to know more about, because there are a lot of people who are curious to read more, to know more, so they have all shared their resources with you. All the links are in the Word file. Please download the Word file because it will be gone once the webinar ends. So please do download the Word file for the extra resources that our coaches have shared.
Madhya, can we pin the resource
Yeah,
document?
I'm checking this.
Because I seem to have lost it.
Let me share it again. Okay, so people are asking about the content as well. So let me share the slide as well for you guys.
If anybody feels that there is something that they saw as value and they would like to receive either more information or a repeated extended version of the answer, Medea and Musna are the most delightful human beings. And if you reach out to them, I'm sure they will be able to provide help and guidance. But I'm also always available on LinkedIn. Please reach out, ask whatever you need. Books on coaching unlimited. Uh, so just reach out. And it's a journey and it goes on every single day. So just start swimming. You'll see. It gets easier then.
Okay, so people, thank you so much, Suzanne. You're so generous. And people are asking for the feedback form here. The link is here again. I'm sending it, and I've shared the PPT as well for the all the slides, and I'm sharing the resource document as well because these guys are amazing. Their resources are amazing. I would highly recommend that you get this document and research and read more about, because obviously there is so much we can talk about in an hour. So here is the whole document again of extra resources for this topic, and you can follow our page for extra information on coaching as well. So here, I hope everyone can get this. Shazeb, which link are you asking for? Are you asking for the feedback link? Okay, so I'm giving it again. So I would like everyone to, just share your thoughts. How did you feel about the audience, about, talking on the about this quote,
Mediha,
on this
I'm
topic?
sorry, we can't see the document in the chat, just so that you know.
Yeah, I'll share it. So starting from Suzanne, Suzanne, if you can just talk about your experience, because this is your first time on board with us.
Hmm. I I hope I earned a second invitation, but I am humbled and honored to be here. I am impressed by the depth of insight of the audience that joined us today. It would be um, an understatement to say that I'm impressed by Ali, Muzna, and Jumadiha, because that's I I don't I don't find it difficult to find words, but when I look at you and listen to you, I really and truly do. So I am delighted to be here with you. But where I really want to highlight how amazing this webinar has been for me is you guys, the audience. It feels, I can feel it here, and I'm in Milan, in Italy, and I can feel how interested in coaching you are, and how much you really want to learn, and how deeply you want to get into the coaching mindset. If there is one thing that I believe can stand between you and what you want, is the expectation of something really big. Because as every journey, becoming a coach or building a coaching culture or expanding your skills or your mindset, it doesn't start big. It starts with the smallest of steps. And the first steps, oh my God, they feel so underwhelming. They feel like there is so much effort and that nothing big is being achieved. So if if there is one thing that I wish you could feel that I'm with you, I'm holding your hands, is in this very early stage, just read a book, just attend more webinars, just go to ICF website and read about what coaching is, what it is not. Just reach out to a coach. Just take one simple goal and use the growth model that Ali so eloquently explained. Just reach out to Musna and say, hey, I really, really want to go beyond mentoring. What should I do? So take the first step. It's going to feel like it's not enough. Okay. And when it feels like it's not enough, remember that I'm saying, I told you so. But this is exactly where it starts.
Thank you. And I'm sure you won a lot of invitations, Suzanne, and people are raving about you in the chat section. Very happy with you, they are. And
Oh,
we
it's nothing compared to how happy I am with you guys.
thank you. And we move to Ali. Ali, any closing remarks?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It was a pleasure altogether, and I'm very happy to see, surprisingly, such a big turnout and enthusiastic interest of people. Just a word of caution. A lot of people, they feel that by virtue of their years in a profession, it qualifies them to be a coach. But this is not how the story works. It's a very, very delicate and very, very sensitive area. You need to build a lot of skills, a lot of mindset, and a lot of personal integrity and ethics to be a good coach. So my humble submission is that if you are interested in, then please take it very seriously. Get yourself certified from a good platform, learn about the skill set, and then practice it, because people, they trust their lives in your hands, and it should not be something in which you can just take it, as we see in corporate a lot, a lot of people who have 30 years of experience under their belt, they become executive and life coaches. It doesn't work like this. It's a very, very serious thing. So all the best for all the potential future coaches which we have today. But my humble request is take it very seriously. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We are glad to have you. And I'm sure everyone learned a lot from you. Everyone commenting, is agreeing with you, Ali and Muzna, since you are a great MOC. MOC, I would like for you to end this. Thank you, everyone. And lastly, we'll end with Muzna's remarks. So,
Thank
Muzna, over to you.
Madhya, I'd like to thank you for facilitating this webinar and thank you for having us come together on this panel to share our insights with the participants. I would like to thank all of you for taking out the time to attend the webinar. I can imagine how busy your schedules are, but you took out the time, goes to show that you want to learn about coaching. And that's the first step. So good job on all of you. The second step is to go through the resources and really just understand what coaching is and how you can incorporate it in your everyday work life, and then reach out to us. I always say it's magical when you reach out to people. People respond, trust me. So reach out to us, reach out to Learning Minds, to Ali Mam Nakwi, to Suzanne, to myself, and ask questions, and that is where you begin your journey with. I thank you, all of you. Again, thank you, Madhya, for making this happen, for conceiving this webinar. Yay.
Always a pleasure. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We are signing off here and see you.